Harbaugh now heads to the Los Angeles Chargers.
He wins everywhere. He wins, period.
Justin Herbert, he's a crown jewel.
Well, you guys better enjoy this.
Quick snap, Herbert to throw. Has a man, touchdown!
The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin.
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
I was just trying to show off.
We're going to be known as world champions. And we're going to do it or die trying. Don't let the powder blues fool you.
Who's got it better than that?
Anything new going on, folks? Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wooldogs, and with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
Weeks and weeks of just churning butter, and we finally got something to put on our bread.
We got some creamy spread, folks. Let's not forget Kyle the Coach Duggan.
Yeah, I wasn't going to miss this one, boys. We actually had something to talk about.
We got some biscuits to butter, as they say. Geez, yeah, lots to talk about here, folks. We've got an Ask Boltfam lined up for you as well, but let's waste no time. Start at the top, go semi in order here. The very first thing, obviously, we all saw this coming.
Yeah.
Didn't make it hurt any less.
Yeah.
We've seen it coming for like a year now.
Yeah, and that's why I got to rep Joey at least one more time.
Yeah.
Joey Bosa has been released. The team announced, and as of today, 6:30, March 10th, he has not signed anywhere else.
You want to hear what I'm hearing?
There's so many rumors, but lay it on me.
The one that sounds the closest to being ready and done is the 49ers.
Oh, yeah.
So he'd get to play with his brother, which I am all for. Like, that's freaking cool. If you got a couple more years on your career and you want to go up there and play with your brother, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm going to miss my pigeon-toed favorite edge rusher. I love that guy.
He was arguably one of the funniest guys on the team, too, just with his celebrations and everything like that.
When he was out there as early, like he's in like one of the top rushers as a Charger, sacks and everything. So it was just, I just remember that draft when we got him. It was so long ago, but I remember getting him in that draft and being like, oh my God, I can't believe this actually happened. We got Joey Bosa. Yeah. And he had a great career with us. Wish he was healthier more often, but thanks, Joey.
Really appreciate it, Joey.
I think the Charger career, like, and you could tell he was so frustrated with his body just not holding up.
Yeah.
He knows, obviously, he took a pay cut last year, knowing that he's not really performing to what he's being paid to perform to. And you can't get 5 sacks and make $30 million. It's just not, that's not how you can run a team, So everyone kind of knew the writing was on the wall. Another giant pay cut wasn't ever going to happen. So it sucks. Are there any San Diego Chargers left? I think he was the last one.
There's Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh's the last San Diego
That's true. And
There's
Keenan.
Nick
What if
Hardwick.
Keenan comes back?
Nick Hardwick.
Keenan might come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick
and
Hardwick.
Then if they re-sign Perriman, we'd have a couple.
Okay. All right. Good. They're still they are the last of the Mohicans. They're slowly fading away.
Last of the Brohicans for sure.
Yeah. Deion Henley tweeting out, true Charger OG San Diego Bolt. Thank you, Joey. And we agree.
Yeah.
Mr. Henley.
No, what time it is?
That cut. What time?
Tui below 2.
That's right.
Come on down. You're the
Next contestant on the Price is Right.
Do we have the figure on here? How much cap space that opened up? That was like $26 million, something like that.
The release of Joey?
Yeah, we shot up to the second most cap space.
Yeah.
And I think we're now because, as you're going to find out, we haven't done a whole lot today. So I think we're still sitting pretty in first place, guys.
Probably. First move of the day.
Good move.
Great move. I woke up to this move. Khalil Mack back for more. Sources say the Chargers are bringing back star edge Khalil Mack for another season as the future Hall of Famer stays home. 1 year, $18 million, fully guaranteed. It's a sweet deal.
I'm riddle me this. So Myles Garrett makes $40 million a year. Is Myles Garrett $22 million better than Khalil Mack?
Nope.
No,
he's not. I mean, Myles Garrett is incredible. And obviously, they're different stages of their career.
Is he 2.25% more? Is it 2? Wait,
carry the one.
Well, wait, hold on. Is Myles Garrett 2 Khalil Macks and like a little mini Khalil Mack? Like that's what you're getting. You're paying for. You're paying 2 for
What'd
2
you get,
full
Adam?
Khalil Macks.
What'd you come up with? No,
I don't know. I just bought a boat, I think.
No, but it's a good analogy. You're getting it's two Khalil Macks and a little baby Khalil Mack for one Myles Garrett. I don't see that.
Yeah. No, he's not 2 and a baby Khalil Max. That's for sure.
Oh, brother.
But
no, dude, this is a huge signing, though. I mean, like, as far as his cap hit, this has to be less. So he took a pay cut again because he was making more than $18 million a year last year, if I'm not mistaken, right? Anyone have that off the top of their head?
Not off the top of my head.
Buy another boat. Come on, let's figure this out.
All right, well, you just asked for the top of my head. I can certainly do a search for Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack's contract. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Wrong, bitch.
Let's see. 20. Oh, no, that's 25. I want the 24.
So his cap number is only $8.8 million for this upcoming year in 2025. How that works, I don't know.
I don't
that's that's what we're getting right here. So last year his cap hit, where is that cap
27.
number? Was $25.3 million.
So he took a pay cut again.
Yeah.
He took a giant pay cut, and now you have so the thought was like you get rid of Joey Bosa, now you open up all this cap space to be able to go get Khalil and whoever else. Khalil took another pay cut to stay with the Chargers. And the elephant in the room is that Rashawn Slater deal that is inevitable and will come soon and will be a hefty.
Hopefully, why we're doing this podcast. We're doing it a little earlier today on a Monday. Hopefully, something announces.
Of course,
we're doing
the
this.
one day where we actually get news for our podcast, we decide to record early just to make sure we eliminate all of the headlines that we're going to get.
I was just so nervous that just no news was going to be out when we started recording this. It would have been tradition, though.
That would have
got
been.
Khalil.
That's fine. We got Khalil. That's a much bigger one than I think people are talking about, bringing him back. Like we already knew that we released Joey, so now we are holding on to Khalil Mack, as Kyle said, at another reduced rate, even though he's still as productive as he is right now. So that I think is huge news.
Yeah, it's huge.
And Stephen Haglin, our brother from another podcast, tweeting out that per multiple sources, there were at least 3 other teams interested in Khalil Mack's services. One team even offered him a 3-year contract. But he believes in Jim Harbaugh's vision and didn't want to leave LA, just needed the contract to work. So once the Chargers came in with the fully guaranteed deal, it was over. Stoked the 52 is back.
Well, the 52, like the 3-year deal, why would you do that? He doesn't want to play for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's not intriguing.
They haven't been listening to the post-game pressers.
Yeah. He's like hanging on for one more year. Why would you offer him a 3-year contract? Come on.
Yeah.
That had to have been the Raiders.
But
Probably.
It's cool to hear, though. It's really cool to hear that, and that's what we felt from the beginning. I'm telling you, it's the family thing. His kids are like settled in. The wife's happy in LA. And like, all right, well, let's run it back. I'm going to take a $6 million pay cut and we're going to go win a championship.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Some other names that we saw come up today. Where you're bringing back T.R. Tart.
Yes.
Heard that T.R. Tart's coming back.
Pop
1-year
back.
deal, $5.5 million. Great deal.
Yeah, that's a great cheap 1-year prove it again deal. I thought he proved it last year pretty well. He's basically taking over the Poona Ford contract. That's basically what he's doing.
Because Poona signed with the Rams earlier today as well
for a good amount.
Yeah, good. He got paid, and now if you didn't, and Tierra wasn't under contract when we got the news that Poona had moved. So then it's like, oh my God, the interior of our defensive line is disappearing here at a rapid rate. So to get him back, you could see a team going like, well, we need a guy. Just pay the man whatever he wants and bring him back. But Ortiz was still able to cook up what feels like a team-friendly deal with $5.5 million on a guy that played really, really well.
Yeah,
it was like $1 million last year.
Yeah, it was a 1.125 mil last year. So
but I think he earned this, and everyone's
absolutely.
seen it.
It's a pay increase for him for sure.
Every time Matt Money Smith talks about him, he's like he has the best get off on the entire team. So he's going to be put into a more of a featured role now that Poona's gone. So let's see what he's got. I'm excited to see it.
One of the new faces in the room, somebody that we got that was a free agent, that is Dante Jackson. They reached an agreement on a 2-year, $13 million contract. The deal was negotiated by Drew Rosenhaus. And the Carolina Panthers were the ones to select Jackson in the second round of the 2018 NFL draft. And then on March 13th, 2024, the Panthers traded Jackson and a 7th-round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for wide receiver Deontay Johnson and a 6th-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. So Dante Jackson had one of his better seasons last year with the Steelers. He got 5 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery. So, I mean, it sounds like they're going for at least another ball hawk in that cornerback position. I don't know what this means for Asante Samuel.
But this guy is essentially Asante. He's a smaller outside corner. He's 5'10". Like I don't think Asante's coming back after this. Like maybe like Kyle predicted a couple years ago, a roster full of B players. Maybe this is what this feels like. We're loading up and we're going to have like depth with a whole bunch of B players. And if they're in the right scheme with the right coaching, they become B+ A players, you know?
Well, you had 2 5th-round picks play incredible last year. Dante Jackson, I mean, it's not a splash the pot signing. This is not the highest paid corner in the NFL now. And I think we need to get used to not seeing that. We've tried that for the last decade and it hasn't worked. Every year we make someone the highest paid player in the NFL, and then they don't end up playing up to that potential. So,
right.
And what we've seen is in the system that we have with the defensive back coaches we have and the coordinator that we have, we just need the right guys that can go out there and execute what they need. And they can save money at other premium positions by bringing in DBs that they know they can do the job, that they don't need to overperform. Because look at the guys that we've signed in the defensive backfield. It's Elijah Molden, got a not crazy deal, like brought him back on something that you can build a roster around. And Dante Jackson, who is a proven vet that's played in a couple different spots. That Pittsburgh Steelers defense last year was disgusting. It's not as if they were just attacking Dante and getting huge gains. Like that defense was really, really good. So I don't see why he wouldn't be able to come over and have a great season. So again, I think we got to get more comfortable with not making everyone the highest paid player, and bringing in guys that could do the job.
Absolutely. And I think to that point, we know there are a ton of spots we got to fill on this team, and we've got a lot of draft picks to work with, but that doesn't mean that you can, our splash is going to be probably getting Khalil Mack and extending Rashawn Slater. Those are probably going to be the 2 big splashes we have. And even though we have a ton of cap space, it's like, hey man, like Kyle said, let's get some B players. Let's get a bunch of B+ players in here.
Roster.
Let's get a full roster, man. Because there's still so many positions, like guys that either need to be re-signed or we need to fill their spot. And it's going to be, it's just the start. Today is literally the very first day of all of this happening.
There's a long way to go.
There's a lot of hair on fire people out there right now. And it's like, hey, man,
it's just,
you got time.
I would love a compilation of this episode every time of the year for the last 5 years. It's the same thing. It's like people are upset. People are beyond upset because they had 4 or 5 weeks to fall in love with maybe this $30 million.
Hang on.
Frick.
Rappaport just dropped Chargers nearing a Najee Harris deal.
There you go.
Running back coming in.
Interesting.
Whoa, boys. That's a big, big boy to replace Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for JK, though? Is that a JK out the door?
I hope they get JK back.
Najee's going to get paid.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. That'll be interesting to see because now, that's the thing, dude, is like the draft is still over a month away now. And there's running backs in that draft that you could pick up that could sit behind Najee at the same time, if that ends up being the case. We'll see if that ends up.
As I was saying, this is just the beginning. Exactly what Kyle said. There's going to be a lot more of this. We just weren't the first ones jumping off the diving board. We're waiting, seeing how everyone landed, seeing what was going on. Now we're going to go ahead first and start picking up some guys.
Exactly.
Weird analogy, but you're welcome.
I like it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, because that's a lot of money to gamble on some of these other guys, and we'll get to it in a second here. But the 2 other names that we are definitely bringing back, the Chargers pointed out that they've agreed terms on contract extensions with center Bradley Bozeman and punter J.K. Scott.
This is I don't know what the amount of hate for Bradley Bozeman is intense. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people hating on this. we don't know what this is. Is this? I don't know what this contract is. This is just a reliable lineman that they, maybe this is a backup thing.
Absolutely.
This is just securing the depth, and they're going to go after somebody else. Like, we just kind of have to wait and see. This would be, if they were to extend and like give a huge contract to Trey Pipkins, I'd feel differently than I do about that. But I think Bradley Bozeman is a fine pick. I don't know what the deal is yet. They haven't released it. But.
Right. I mean, they've talked about putting Zion Johnson in at center. So you don't know if Bradley Bozeman is the starting center. You don't know if he's the backup center.
You don't know Zion is the starting center. It's just, you never know who could be center.
But what you do know is that the team loves this guy. He's a team captain. The team is nuts about Bradley Bozeman. All the players are nuts about Bradley Bozeman. So it's a good person to bring back, if for nothing else, the spirits of the team and with Jim Harbaugh and everything like that, and a solid backup if that ends up being the case. We don't know if that'll be the case. This could just be hey, man, we just want to hold on to this guy in case we don't get what we want in the draft, or in case Zion doesn't work out.
Yeah, and that's how you make it happen, by signing the Dante Jacksons instead of the top tier corner.
Exactly. Now
you have a backup center that has played in the NFL and is no, he was not a Pro Bowler. He was not an A+ center.
Right.
He was a middle of the pack C passing level center that couldn't carry the rest of the offensive line. But I think if you surrounded him with two much better guards than we had last year, I think he would have done better. So I think this is what you have the ability to have as a backup, because you're building a total roster, not just paying $1 gajillion to Myles Garrett, and instead you could have two and a baby Khalil Mack. Right.
Yeah, because like
maybe Bradley Bozeman is your baby Khalil Mack. That's what his contract is.
That
baby Khalil Mack that we got.
Love it.
Yep.
Because we saw earlier, it was Drew Dahlman, the center that was for the Falcons, ended up going to the Bears. He got a 3-year, $42 million contract. That's
crazy.
That's a ton of money. And I know we've got it, but it's that analogy. It's like, do you want a superstar in one position and a bunch of seasoned Ds sitting around him, or do you want a line of Bs?
Yeah.
I'll take the Bs.
And that guy goes down week 4. What does your team look like?
Exactly.
Do you have a 7th round draft pick sitting behind him, or what?
Right. It's just inevitable. Injuries happen. It's 100% of the time in the NFL, somebody's going to get hurt. So it's building a total roster. And I love the idea of a GM head coach that want to keep guys in the locker room that are good. Like, they're good guys in the locker room. You don't just ship them off because this and that. I like the idea of, hey, we're building a culture. It's the first year was really good, but they are still building the Charger culture. And this is one of those culture guys that you want there to have an influence on the rest of the offensive line that inevitably is going to get young here pretty quick, it seems like.
Absolutely. Yeah. If they can knock it out of the park with the draft the same way they did last year, it's going to be such a bright future for this team.
Yeah.
Because like the most expensive guys that we were all eyeballing, like DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams. DK went to the Steelers. Devontae Adams went to the Rams. Those are what, like 30 mil guys?
Yeah,
30 mil a year.
Yeah, Devontae's like mid to, I think, 20s, something like that.
They're both
guaranteed.
20 plus.
Yeah.
I mean, either one of these guys stub their toe. What happens to that offense?
I will say this, like I do love the shameless positivity we're going with this, but there is an element where we missed out on potentially getting one of these guys to solve one of the biggest problems we had last season.
Yeah. So and that's not to say
I cannot brush under the rug that these guys, letting these guys go like, I didn't feel good about him anyways. Like, no, like I don't fully understand what Ortiz is cooking. I'm sure it's going to be delicious, but most fans are annoyed with this because we all watched the games last year.
Absolutely.
And our wide receiver room is not any better than it was before today started.
Yeah.
Well, and even more so because we saw that Josh Palmer got signed to the Bills.
Yeah.
3-year, $36 million with $18 million guaranteed. I mean,
that is
congratulations,
a lot of
Mr. Palmer, on landing that deal. There's no way that was going to work out with the Chargers.
He just can't stay on the field, dude. That's just the same thing. Like, I don't know how you can justify that much money. Good for him on earning that. That's wonderful. But yeah, we definitely are not paying that with the production he gave us last year.
Yeah, and that's not to say all the signings that we've done so far. We're gonna sign a wide receiver. It's gonna happen. Like, we're gonna get one.
Cooper Kupp. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, well, and now the Rams are saying they're just going to release him. If a trade doesn't materialize, they're just going to release him, and then we can sign him without having to give up any draft picks, which the Steelers, I don't understand this move at all. They don't even have a quarterback right now. What's the point of paying a guy $25 million to play wide receiver when there's no one to throw to him? Yeah. Justin Fields just went to the Jets. Russell Wilson isn't under contract. You got nobody throwing the ball, and you're giving up draft picks to go get DK Metcalf, who was kind of a baby last year. Like he complained a lot of the season about playing time and routes and this and that and the other. And it's like, I don't think a guy like that is ever. That's why I think both those guys we did not go trade for. I don't think they're culture guys. Devontae Adams is a gigantic crybaby that whined his way out of Vegas and then got to the Jets and did nothing. Right.
He saw one DK Pop-Tart and here come the waterworks.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're complaining about the way that your rival team is marketing against you. Come on, let's grow up a little bit. Know the business that you're in.
Look at the perks to this. We didn't get these two guys, but they didn't go to another AFC West team. That's
exactly.
How I look at it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there's still a lot of players out there, especially in the wide receiver pool. I know it is getting smaller as far as people that have like the level or the caliber, I guess, of wide receiver out there. Yeah. And I get it, man. We had a ton of money. We wanted to go get a top wide receiver. I totally get it because that's an area of need. But you know what's even better? Drafting one that sticks around for years to come.
You hit it like on another McConkey.
That's what I'm saying.
McConkey, yeah.
Now, that's not a guarantee to happen. That's why Kyle's right. We're definitely going to be signing another wide receiver at some point in this. Could it be Keenan Allen? Could it be Cooper Kupp? Could it be Amari Cooper? It's not Darius Slayton. We just saw that he re-signed with the Giants.
Yeah.
So he was one of the top names on there. He's no longer there.
I'm going to say Cooper Kupp. That's my guess.
There's still a lot of options. Yeah. Because, we saw also Poona Ford signing with the Rams, going next door at SoFi. Good for him. 3-year deal, under $30 million with $17 million guaranteed. Absolutely earned it.
Yeah.
And then we also saw they made it official that Gus Edwards will be released as well. So we're making
you can only have so many dreadlocks in one running back room.
There's a dreadlock.
They had to make room for Najee Harris, apparently.
Yeah, so there's still moves to be made, folks. It hasn't even been 24 hours since the free agency started, at least by the time we're recording this. By the time this comes out, I'm sure big news will happen.
Yeah, there'll be something
normally
we didn't get
does.
to. Sorry,
yes. So just hold on tight. It's going to be a fun off season. It's going to be a bunch of new faces, whether you like them or not. It's going to be an entirely new team, and I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. Just like I'm ready for you folks to head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/ChargerChat. Check out all the fun, silly videos we got going on over there. We've been watching a lot of tape on some potential draft picks, so definitely come by and check it out if you're interested in that sort of thing. And if you don't want to go to patreon.com/ChargerChat, it's totally fine. Going over to our regular website, chargerchat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we got over there, like t-shirts, hoodies, stickers. You can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in the members section and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. So go check out chargerchat.com. All right, folks. We've got an Ask Boltfam lined up for you. Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Bosa hungry.
Your thoughts are totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, folks. Time for Ask Boltfam, and we start at the top with Paul Zemaripa, who asked the question.
Hey, Crisis. I'm heading to San Diego for spring break. What's something a lifelong Charger fan could do or see in the first ever trip to San Diego? Thanks, and K, love you. Bye-bye.
Nice, dude. That is the best place to go for spring break. For spring break.
For spring break?
Yeah.
For San Diego lifelong Charger fan.
Unfortunately, our
it's
old
been
stadium's
a hot minute.
Unfortunately, our old
not
stadium's
there.
gone. I'm trying to think of the Charger related.
There's not going to be anything Charger related. Yeah.
As far as just San Diego sites to see, there's a lot of cool places to check out for
There's
sure.
so much. The Padres will be playing too. So if you're a Charger fan, maybe you're a Padre fan, I would highly recommend going to Petco Park.
Petco Park's fun.
That's the best stadium. You have the zoo, which is awesome. Going over to Coronado is really cool.
Coronado's raw.
That's where all the
PB's
Navy
fun.
SEALs train.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of fun
There's
things.
so much.
Get some carne asada fries, dude. I'm not sure where or how.
Eat all the food.
Get some carne asada burrito or carne asada fries, depending on how you're feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And have a fun spring break. Paul, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Marco DeLeo, who asked the question. So now that Higgins, Adam, and DK are off the picture, what options do we have for a number one receiver? And should we be a little worried that we are yet to sign anyone else other than Bolton? Seems other teams are making moves. We haven't. Can I be by? All right. Well, this was obviously written prior to some of the moves that we have currently made today.
But who's to say Higgins is out of the picture? Just because he's franchise tagged doesn't mean that they're going to. That may just be leverage of them trying to get a better trade deal out of somebody.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
That is 100% more likely than the other guys are signed. Those are done deals. They didn't sign those longer contracts to get traded. Higgins, I doubt it's going to happen, but I don't know what the Bengals are doing, man. They're giving up their what's their edge rusher's name? My brain's not working.
Hendrickson.
leading sacks in the league, and they're giving him up. Like their offense was great last year, but their defense wasn't shit. So I don't know what those guys are doing. That makes no sense. So maybe
and then Sam Hubbard, their other DN for the Bengals, just retired. They're in deep doo-doo.
Yeah, so I don't know if Higgins is the most important thing right now for them to evaluate. Yeah. So they might be in some maybe they're up against something interesting on that. I doubt it's going to happen, but honestly, I feel like we're going to see a guard signing before we're going to see a wide receiver signing. I just think they're going to look at giving Justin more time, having better protection, and then he can utilize the guys. Maybe a Cup. Maybe if some of these guys that didn't have the best year last year, that seems like the MO we have right now is like getting a guy from last year that maybe didn't have the best season, but is shown that he can do it in prior years. Mm-hmm. Kind of feels like we're going. I feel like Cup makes sense now that everyone's kind of dwindling away in terms of that list.
Yeah, it's like a buy low, sell high kind of vibe that the Chargers got going on right now.
Yeah. Well, look what they did to Puna. They brought him in for nothing, and then he just made $30 million.
Yeah.
We'll just be
We're
that
turning
factory.
careers around left and right here.
Yeah.
So that's a selling option. That's a bid to be like, hey, man, if you come to the Chargers next year, you could be making a lot of money. Not necessarily with us, but you could be making
We're
a lot
not
of
going
money.
to pay you, but
it's not coming from us, but hey, we're happy to be your launch point.
Maybe Keenan Allen. Who's to say?
Mike Williams is available too. You got Stephon Diggs.
Let's run it
Amari
back,
Cooper.
baby.
Mike Williams, McConkey, and Keenan Allen all in the same field.
Come on, sign me up.
How would you feel right now if they brought back one of those guys?
I'm ecstatic.
I would love to see Keenan back, dude. Keenan's technically never signed a contract with anyone but the Chargers, so
it's true.
You could just keep that deal going.
Keep it rolling. Yeah, because he was traded. He put pen to paper with the Chargers. And then we got rid of him.
But we sold high, and now we're going to buy him back low.
We got some picks out of him, and then we'll get him back for cheaper than what we're going to have to pay him.
Come on.
That was a genius plan.
It's 4D chess going on right now.
The coupon cutter in me really likes that.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, there you go, Marco. We're not worried one bit.
Not at all.
So just keep riding the roller coaster, buddy. It's going to be fun. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to OM Run, who asked the question. Kevin Duggan, you bastard. How dare you inform us all about The Price is Right running 24/7 on the Roku channel? I don't know what's worse, the fact that I can't stop watching it or the depression and anger that comes from how cheap everything was in 1975. A trip to Bermuda, a car, and a new living room set for $10K? Ooh! It's the perfect off-season for Charger fans because that's exactly how I feel when I watch the Chargers play. Angry and kind of sad. Here's my question. How does Bob Barker manage to be creepy and wholesome at the same time? And is he more creepy or wholesome?
What a question on the start of free agency.
Love it, dude. The Price is Right. I mentioned that, and I'm still going strong. I just go sit in my living room. We watched it on YouTube the other day and watched the old 70s commercials, which were crazy.
For those that don't know, Kevin and I will work together sometimes in St. Louis, and the downtime has lately been, let's put on some prices right.
It's like stupid fun. It's ridiculous. I need to get that as a ringtone.
Yeah, dude.
Who's better at Price is Right, you or Kev?
I think Kev is a little bit better because of the experience. Because well, but OM Run is right. Some of the prices have been insane. Like they've been like, you just got to guess the price of this car, and I'm like, oh, it's at least $10,000, and they're like $2,785. Like for a brand new car? You kidding me?
It's the better times,
man.
Ugly as hell cars, but the cheap.
I'll rock it. I don't care. A brand new car for under $3K. Get out of here. And a trip to Bermuda.
Yeah.
But how does Bob Barker manage to be creepy and wholesome at the same time? He does have a few moments where it's just like, oh man, he's so cool. And there's other times where it's like, oh, easy there, Bob.
No, it's
funny. Watch
funny.
Your hands.
Especially the older episodes. He's got a little bit of
he's got that swagger.
He throws some zingers at people that are so like panicked to be there anyways. And he just takes a pop shot at them and they're like, their life is over. That kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know. It's fascinating. I love it. Makes me want to show my son Happy Gilmore and just the Bob Barker scene.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out pretty soon too. Do you think they'll mention Bob?
They fucking better, or bring him back in like CG,
bring him back.
AI
Bob. Well, do you think he's more creepy or wholesome?
He's wholesome as shit. As a handsome man, super wholesome, brings the whole family together and makes dreams come true. There's nothing creepy about it. You see some of these people freaking out when they win their showcase showdown? Yes. I have. And if you get within $100 to win both showcases, watch those people freak out. He's creating dreams and making them happen.
I think he's kind of creepy.
Kyle, shut up.
Just to be different.
You were too busy watching Blue's Clues when I was watching The Price is Right at home.
$1, Bob.
$1, Bob. That's the most infuriating part, is watching people make terrible bids at the beginning. You're just like, you idiot.
Yeah. The last person, you always do $1 more than the highest bid. It works every time, 90% of the time.
So don't ever do the $1, Bob.
$1 Bob works. If it's
that's the other percent
bids.
of the times. Yeah.
That's the other 10% of the 100%.
Yeah. You either go $1 above or $1 or just $1 period.
$751, Bob. And the person that bet $750 is like, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
That should be they should change that rule. That's not fair.
No, it's pretty sick.
Especially you get called down as the last contestant. What are you going to do? You have to get it spot on.
Yeah, you have to nail it.
What if you started with $1, Bob? You were the first bid.
$2, Bob.
$2.
Last guy. Last guy's like $2, Bob.
$3, Bob.
That would be hilarious, actually. I hope that there's an episode like that where they just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. OM Run, thank you.
Dude, great question.
For asking the question.
Bob Barker
about my hobbies.
Let's move it on now to Andrew Ramsey, who asked the question.
Okay. Andrew.
Kyle the Coach Duggan. It's been a 2 off-season war with you.
It's not a war.
At this point, it is just time to meet you in person and sit at the table with one another. There needs to be a peace deal between you and me, and some kind of diplomacy is necessary. Let us try to litigate this in front of the Charger Chat media, because we both have manpower problems that need to be resolved. That being said, state your demands, and I will state my demands with this question, and hopefully we can stop the ruthless killing of each other's brain cells. Thousands of brain cells are dying weekly, and as we speak, we have lost over 220 just today. One of Kyle's brain cell, I witnessed my rap lyrics blow the myelin sheet off its neuron. It was bare naked afterwards. It was completely brutal, and I have never seen anything like it. We have a nice piece of land between us, but we will both feel it in the future. That being said, here's my demand in question. My demand. I demand that Kyle make a sound, noise, or expression every time my name is mentioned by Adam during the Ask Boltfam like he does with Athir Kadir. Only Kyle. 2, my question. What are we doing? Why is Bozeman back? I'd rather start Zion at this point. What are we doing? Why? Why? Do they really hate Justin this much? I'm sorry, Rivers. Somehow you're involved in this. Bring back the boatload ties. San Diego Superchargers. I can't love you. Bye.
And
Andrew,
How do you have a one-way war? I just don't know what I'm doing to continue this war.
just your existence is enough.
thanks,
Pisses
Kathy.
him off. All right. Well, first of all,
I
Andrew,
demand it's just
we
stop
don't
the
negotiate
war.
with terrorists. Okay. Yeah. Kyle, you want to make a noise when every time Andrew's name gets mentioned?
Yeah.
There
I'll
it
give
is.
you a good little toot. Whatever will end.
What's the loser? What's the loser sound on the Price is Right?
No, I'm not. I want this war to end. I'll do. I didn't know we were in a war. There's no war. Whatever will end the
fist.
Yeah.
Whatever will end the war in your mind. That's the sound I will make.
He's a lover, not a fighter, Andrew.
Yeah. I just like talking crap to Kev, but I'm not actually in a war.
Yeah.
There's no war.
He wasn't talking to you, Andrew. All right. What are we doing? Why is Boseman back?
He's a backup. I think that's what it is. I don't think he's starting. And if he is, they're going to have awesome guards next to him. I think that's just what it is. He was the team captain. They probably got him back on a great deal. I think that just is what it is.
I don't think we would have heard Ortiz mention them trying Zion at center if that wasn't the, I think, eventual plan.
Yeah. He's
because they understand that, like, hey, man, we got to get better at this position. So let's try Zion at this position. Let's see how that works. Yeah. And then when the draft comes around, might see us draft a center. And then you've officially got your backup.
Totes.
And there you go. So it's fine, Andrew. Calm down.
Find a brown paper bag and take some deep breaths.
Deep breaths. Thank you for asking the question.
Thank you, Andrew.
Everybody say thank you.
Thank you,
Andrew. Let's move it on now to Athir Kadir.
Kadir!
Who asked the question? Bolt fam and my lovely chat. Coach Kyle that I love, number 2 on the list behind Coach Harbaugh and ahead of Mentor, baby. Kevin, my awesome friend, and my baby, you know who, Bulldog, baby. First, I want to ask, I'm not asking questions about free agency. I have faith and trust in my GM and coach. Okay, I've made this after last night news and I was at work. I'm really crying and sad and heartbroken for all my Chargers fandom, baby. Why are you losing hope, baby? We will be fine. It's plenty of time, baby. First, I want to say my GM and my coach that I love so much did the right thing and not paying $46 million to this clown Adams and $150 million to DK. That's too much, baby. I got a solution, baby. Sign wide receiver Godwin. It's not going to work. Let's bring back Everett and Smart. Let's move up to get Janty and take the wide receiver in round 4. Sign Cooper and draft tight end Mason Taylor in round 3. And oh, by the way, J.K. Dobbins is definitely back, baby. Your thoughts and questions. Is this too much to ask, baby? We start always with my lovely Coach Kyle, followed by my great friend, and we finish with my heart, my love, my baby, my life. Bulldog, baby. Let's go. I'm not worried or panicking, baby. Great words of advice there, Athir.
Yeah. I think to sum all of this up, there's still a lot of options out there. Yeah. There's a lot of different
great way to reveal that.
Yeah, there's a lot of routes we can take as Athir perfectly displayed on this comment question.
Yes.
It's no time to panic. There's still a lot of options and solutions out there. Who's to know there's not a trade in the works that's not even a guy that you're thinking of right now. So I think there's plenty of solutions. Obviously the draft's going to be part of it. But yeah, I'm not freaking out.
So signing Godwin, we know is not happening. Godwin went back to the Bucks. Bringing back Everett and Smart. Everett, I'm not really. I necessarily want back. Yeah, no. I would keep. I'm fine with Disley and Smart, and then drafting somebody. And they also put that. What was it? They put the tag on Fisk, not the franchise tag, but the
tender.
The tender. Yeah, they put the tender on Fisk. So there's that. Move up to get Janty. Would you move up to get Janty?
Not
depends on how far. Obviously, we're not. Yeah.
I'd be curious what's going to happen if they re-sign JK and if they end up getting Najee Harris. That's like a pretty brutal 1-2 punch. So
yeah,
then you can just wait and pick a later running back and not, first, second round, you can go tight end and guard.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. If get those two signed up, go third, fourth round running back, tight end, guard, wide receiver, third round, then running back.
That was all over the place, dude. You just went fourth round, first round, third round, second round.
First, second, third, fourth.
Have you done mocks, Kevin? Have you started your mock drafting yet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why.
Pen and paper.
And yeah, J.K. Dobbins coming back. That would be, I think that would be.
That's
awesome
all I
to have
want
him
right
back.
now.
Yeah.
That's really all I want.
And Mason Taylor. I'm not familiar with Mason Taylor.
Yeah, he's the son of what's his name? Taylor. He's the edge rusher.
Jason Taylor for the Dolphins.
Yeah, just really athletic tight end. Could be cool. He's a second round pick. Very athletic dude.
Interesting. All right. Well, yeah, I think everything you got there, Thea, we're with. Obviously, some of those positions I think have changed, or at least options have changed. But the ultimate message of there's still so much time. Let's not freak out. Let's not have our hearts broken. Let's not kill ourselves.
Yeah.
As some people have threatened over the first 2 hours of free agency. Let's all just take a breath and relax.
The mute button's getting real delicious looking.
So thank you, Athir, for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Boltfam with Tony Francis, who asked the question.
Listen up, cadets. Today is a tough day, no doubt. We just said goodbye to the last San Diego Charger on the team. A guy who's bled for this jersey, sacrificed more than most of us will ever know, and left it all on the field every single Sunday. And yes, he's now moving on, but that doesn't mean his impact is gone. Love you, Joey Bosa, and everything you did for the Powder Blue. My first question is directed at you, Coach. Ashton Jeanty or Amarian Hampton? If we resign JK, do you think we still take our running back in round one if available? My next question is directed at you, Kev. Now that Higgins, Adams, and Metcalf are off the table, what wide receiver do you want to land in free agency? And also, now that you've had a week to think about it, what are your top 5 horror movies in order? And my last question is directed at you, Wolldog. What is your all-time favorite commercial you have made for the pod? And why? As always, f*** the Raiders, burn the kingdom, kick the donkeys, f*** you, Devontae Adams, f*** you, DK Metcalf. You both can suck my butt.
Okay. I like the rotation of names at the end of Tony's questions. It's always got somebody else that we can give an FU to. So love that. And I love the tribute to Joey Bosa. Great guy. Definitely will be missed, and hope he has a good future. And I'm sure he will.
We'll miss you, buddy.
But first question is directed at you, Coach. Ashton Jeanty or Amarian Hampton? And if we re-sign JK, do you think we still take a running back in round one if available?
Yeah, so I think but those are the two top, I think above and beyond running backs available in the draft. Ashton Jeanty, I think you have to move up to get. So if Omarian's still there at our pick, I would rather not have to move up to get someone.
Totally.
And give up draft capital, because it looks like we're so far in free agency, we've been a little bit more quiet. So I would rather keep as much draft capital if we can, since it seems like that's our course of attack. But yeah, Omarian Hampton would be the pick. I don't think Ashton's not going to be there when we pick. So, and then if we re-sign JK, do you think we'll still take a running back? Well, now with the Najee Harris news, I don't think we'll take a running back in the first round if we've already put that much of our capital towards it. It's possible with how much we're devoted to trying to run the ball. But if one of those two top tight ends is sitting there, I would go one of those tight ends over a running back in the first round to try to solidify other spots that are actual needs right now. And I know you're supposed to take best available in the draft. That's everyone's philosophy. But
right,
I think if you're going to treat free agency the way that we've done it so far, and if this stays the status quo, you're going to have to find needs somewhere. So I think those first couple rounds of the draft is where it's going to have to be.
All right. Yeah, I would be. I mean, running back in the first. I think really Ashton Jeanty is the only one that you take if for somehow he falls that far.
Yeah.
And I just don't know that would necessarily happen. And there's so many other needs, I think, on this team besides that. So And if Najee Harris happens, I think you just throw that all out the window.
But it might not be. It might be Najee Harris. We don't sign J.K. Dobbins, and then we do pick one of these guys.
It's still question marks.
Could be a completely different backfield with the only person being there is Kamani.
Yeah.
And everything I'm hearing is
Hassan.
This is a super deep running back class, and it's like you could get a really, really good one in the second, third round, and not have to give up that first round pick to get it. So
exactly.
I think, if you have an elite level running back already, I think you probably wait until a little bit later round to pick one up.
All right, Kev. What wide receiver do you want to land in free agency?
Now, at this point in time, at 5:23 Pacific time on Monday, March 10th, the year
of our Lord.
Yeah, 1955.
1955.
I'm going Cooper Kupp, Doc.
Damn,
give me Cooper Kupp. Yeah, I think Cooper Kupp makes sense. It's like he's going to get released. He's probably going to get offers from all over the place, but they're going to be not prove-it deals, but mid-range contracts just with his injury issues. And he's in LA. It'll be the easiest thing for him to just move over to Justin Herbert. I think it's going to be Cooper Kupp.
That is such an interesting thing now that I think about it, how there are two teams in LA and it's a constant battle, from the fans' perspective. But from the players' perspective, it's like, well, if I got to go, I'll just go next
Keep
door.
my house
Yeah, I get to stay here. And there's a possibility I can just go next door and play for the other team. That's
and you
great.
could play in LA, or you get an extra $5 million to go play in Pittsburgh all the time. Like, why get rid of the SoFi Stadium?
Yeah, exactly.
Longevity of your career. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's probably why Najee Harris wants to come to us, because he's like, let's warm this shit up a little bit.
I'm tired of the snow.
Let's cook.
And now that you've had a week to think about it.
So this was a hard for me,
top 5 horror movies,
because I had to decide. There's the different levels. There's I think what makes top 5 for me is the movies that affected me the most when I watched them.
Okay.
It wasn't like my favorite or like the best style or the coolest look or any of that. It was the movies that affected me the most.
Okay. So you got the qualifiers out of the way. So this is the order in terms of terrified. Most of these I saw way too young, so that's probably the reason why.
Yeah, and I saw them 6 years younger.
Yeah, Kyle was in the room probably sleeping when I saw it, and you were probably 5 or 6. So first one, we'll go with the original Evil Dead. Messed me up. Really terrifying movie to see as a 12-year-old. Saw that on VHS in my bedroom, which I shared with Kyle. 2, similar era. Within 2-3 years of watching that, I saw The Exorcist. We'll go The Exorcist number 2. Totally terrified me. Third one, similar veins, similar era of when I saw it in the early to mid 90s. We're going to go with Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger was terrifying and really scared me. Only movie that kind of jumps into like a more current time, I'm going to go with a movie that scared me as an adult male. And that movie was Hereditary. Really, really scared me in a great way.
Yeah.
Had some good nightmares from it, honestly. Nice. And then the one that it had to make the top 5 just because it affected me so much when I was little was Child's Play. Like I had nightmares about Child's Play for probably 2 or 3 years. So that's my top 5 horror, because that scared me the most.
Very good.
Is that thoughtful enough?
That's good, dude. That felt well thought out, as opposed to last week. You just vomited.
Wasn't
5
winging
movies.
it.
Yeah, you were just like, oh shit.
How many
movies?
How many of these movies were on your original list?
Evil Dead, Exorcist, I think Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. I think Hereditary and
The Thing was on there too, but I love The Thing, but it didn't like terrify me. I was like, that is the coolest shit I've ever seen. And I loved it, but it wasn't like the most
different
scary
list.
I've ever been. Yeah. Different thing. More of like a sci-fi horror. We can do that list later.
There you go.
Oh no. Now you better prep, because Tony's bringing that next week.
Yep, it's coming.
There's a lot of
better write it now.
And I just started day 1 of prep on the new horror movie that I'm going to start making.
Yes.
So it just got real. So speaking of horror, let's make some horror.
Yeah. I'm very excited for this one. This is I won't say anything about it.
We'll just say that it's a cool and it's based on a video game.
Yeah, there's an intellectual property attached to this that Kevin's working on that some of you might recognize. So I'm very excited to see what ends up happening with this. And I know that Kevin's going to knock it out of the park.
It's going to be fun.
And then as far as all-time favorite commercial I've made for the pod and why, it's tough to pick one. It's very tough to pick one. Because I would say, some of them I put a lot of time and effort into, and some of them I just it makes so much sense to just write it and put it together, and it's hilarious because it was just sitting right there in front of me. But some of I'll give you 3 because it's tough to pick just one.
Okay.
One I did, and I was so proud of it, but then we got flagged on YouTube for copyright. And I had to like demonetize the episode, but that was the Be Our Guest one.
Yeah.
For SoFi. That was a lot of fun to do. Desmond,
we got to figure out what episodes there were so you guys can go listen to them.
I know. Well, I think we definitely should put them all together and just post like, here's 1 through 100. Here's 100 to 200 and stuff like that.
Oh, gross. That's so many.
It's a lot. But they're fun.
More than that. There's gotta
You've
be
done
more than
so
that.
much. Yeah.
I know. I'd say my second favorite is probably I think Desmond King and the Whiny Magoos.
So good.
Because that was for
production.
those that don't remember when Desmond King used to be on the team. He was putting a lot of whiny tweets out there.
You just read his tweets and put them in
And
the
so,
songs.
yeah, I just put it to music and like sang him his songs, which was a lot of fun to do.
And he just retired, by the way. He's done.
Desmond King retired?
Yeah, I think he just announced it, yeah.
Well, Godspeed there.
Yeah,
Mr.
Desmond King and the retired Magoos.
I forgot about this one. It's kind of in the same vein, but Herb and the 5 Spices. I did like a radio type commercial.
That was a long time ago. That was
a
in like
long
the 50s
time
or
ago.
60s.
But I think my favorite is I imitated a commercial of it was like a used car commercial, but it was like the voiceover guy was like, I'm just going to do this for fun, and dropped a bunch of like F-bombs and, and swears and things like that. And so I did the same thing, but I did it for Lights Out Used Car Lot. So it was an episode we had Sean Merriman on. So that would definitely narrow it down.
Yeah.
But that one, just all the effects and stuff that I put on it, it really tickled me. So it's when I put a lot of time and effort into something, I tend to like it more.
Yeah.
So
love it.
So there you go. There's a few for you. And I think we will have to put these out.
Hey, we're coming up on episode 400. We got to do something special soon here.
True.
2 weeks, baby. Episode 400.
All right. Well, there you go, Mr. Francis. Thank you for asking the question. And thank you, everybody, for asking questions. And Ask Boltfam, it's just getting started, folks. Free agency. We're going to see a lot more names, obviously. We've got money to spend. We've got places and people to fill, places to go, people to see. And I think it's going to be a fun off season. And then the draft is over a month away. And then that's going to be a whole nother level of excitement. And that's going to be fun, dude. I'm very excited for it. So
this is just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. But that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Any other final thoughts there, gentlemen?
See you in Vegas, Kyle.
I know.
Yeah, the Duggins are going to Vegas.
Yeah, see you there, baby.
Are you putting money down? Doing the roulette, the 10, as
do it
usual?
until it works.
Because it works every time. Every time Kevin goes to Vegas.
Every time. Put the table minimum.
Without
it's
fail.
15. I don't know what these tables are going to be now, but the minimum goes on 10. And I've hit it before. So
yeah.
What do you think the minimums were when the Price is Right was in its prime?
$5
minimum.
Maybe
$1, Bob.
Yeah,
$1.
$5 minimum.
And that was a lot. So
we'll probably play with quarters.
Could buy a car.
Probably. Yeah. Let me go buy a car. All right. That's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye.
Come on down.
Helicopter.
Helicopter.
That's a good helicopter song.
And now, a word from our sponsors. Feeling stuck in life? Tired of talking to your therapist about your deepest fears only to get a uh-huh and a tell me more? What if we told you there's a better way to get real support without the couch or the awkward silence? Introducing Patreon Special 10, the only therapy where the side effects include inside jokes, lifelong friendships, and endless laughter. What's better than talking about your feelings with a therapist who can't even laugh at your memes? How about a community where you can share them and they get it instantly? You don't just get advice, you get friends who will get your weirdness and send you to the best memes 24/7. It's therapy, but with more pizza and way fewer feelings of being judged. And here's the best part. All you need to donate is a little bit of time and a tiny bit of money. That's right, for the price of a fancy coffee, you'll unlock a lifetime of good vibes and inside jokes. You'll never be alone unless you're watching Netflix. But even then, we're probably watching the same show. Patreon Special 10.